when starting Hot Chili, you weren't thinking commercially. It wasn't a commercially minded product, which I just love, because that's exactly the same with me here at Giro. We didn't know what we were doing. Like, we didn't have a clue, but we knew, like, and just unshakingly so,
yes.
we knew that the opportunity to open up our doors and to be a pillar in the community, and just to be an open door for cycling in this local area, that was a value. And so the value wasn't this commercial enterprise. The value was about representing and being a part and investing into and nurturing this local community.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. And cyclists and non-cyclists, but obviously, we're talking from a cycling standpoint. Now, we've had to learn along the way how to be commercially savvy and commercially, kind of like minded. And we've been fortunate that we sort of got this far, but that wasn't the starting place.
Yeah.
And I think, touching on what you just said, I think that's where the shift is, in that people are wanting, and people can see authenticity, and people wanting to be a part of something that is genuine and authentic, as opposed to just being a part of this kind of big machine where they don't really have any personal investment into and personal say. If you can breed that, and support that community for that one person that feels a part of what Hot Chili's doing, then you've got a life. If you do, what you do well, you've got a lifelong loyalty, and then in turn you've got the best marketing there is, because that's word of mouth, and there's people speaking about things passionately.
Absolutely.
But it's not the starting place is not commercial.
You're so right. I think if you go back to creating a brand, if you're overarching, you start on day zero, and if your overarching desire is to do X turnover in the next 12 months, you're going to be misled or waylaid along the way. If your overarching desire is to feed a passion and look at the hierarchy of needs of a cycling group or community and things like that, that's a totally different structure, and it's a slow burn. And I think as a brand then develops and as a community develops, it builds its own principles and guidelines in terms of how it interacts, engages, because there's other little things that they're not peripheral, they're integral, but they're not overtly thought of, which are things like inclusivity, and there's obviously a big drive around, or an increasing drive around inclusivity at the moment. But I know when you started and from when we started, we were always, inclusive to anyone and everyone, no matter whether you arrived with flat pedals or whether you were part of some minority group, or I'm thinking about our hand cyclists. We created the first integrated hand cyclist and upright cyclist event. I mean, it was a challenge, but we became experts in it, and it changed the Hot Chili brand for the better to understand what a hand cyclist goes through, on a multi-day event. So I think that you have to almost turn the whole thing on its head. You have to rely on the fact that the community is going to come together with a set of guiding principles,
absolutely,
and a vision that is adopted by the rest of the community.